It is a beautiful summer day here, and I've chosen to sit by my lovely snapdragons and phlox and sedum because most of my garden actually doesn't look like summer anymore. We've hit the frost. Today is an anomaly. So in this video, I'm actually going to look back on the summer at all that my garden has produced. And I want to share with you what I would have spent on this produce had I purchased it instead of grown it. I'm assuming that I would have bought what we've eaten. So anything that I've given away, anything that I've missed in the garden that's spoiled before I picked it, or that just produced more than I was going to eat, like my rhubarb, that doesn't count. And when I'm looking at the prices, I'm not looking at expensive artisan markets or things like that, even though I'm making local, pesticide-free, organic, all that feel-good stuff for my produce. I'm assuming that if I wasn't doing that, I'd probably just be going to a regular grocery store. So that's the price point that I'm using for my area. All of my prices are in Canadian in the year 2022. Rhubarb, $51, and this doesn't count the lots and lots that I gave away. Bok choy, this doesn't count the bok choy that just went to flour and seed without us ever eating it, so really it's chicken food. We ate a ton of beans, over $150 worth. Peas, I've got my sugar snap peas and my shelling peas. Both of them I probably snacked on in the garden just as much as we harvested, but this is what we harvested. Broccoli, $25. Tomatoes, you can't buy a tomato from the store that tastes as good as one that you can grow. And clearly, they also would be very expensive if you tried. Potatoes, these were free to grow because they all grew from potatoes that I had planted last year, both on purpose and not on purpose. Watermelon, again, we gave a ton away. I'm sure it would be over 200 had we been able to eat it all. Sweet potatoes, free to grow. I got it from slips from sweet potatoes that I grew last year. And sweet potatoes, by the way, are also very fun to grow. Zucchini, everyone knows that zucchini just produces and produces as long as you can get away from squash vine borer and wilt and powdery mildew and stuff like that. Patty pan, very similar to zucchini. My volunteer squash that I didn't intend to plant, one was delicious. One was a bit bland, but still great shredded up for zucchini brownies and that sort of thing. And to be honest, most of my volunteer squash just ended up in my compost. Cucumbers, I'm not the best at growing. Most people would probably be able to get a lot more out of 8 plants than this. Peppers, I was surprised to see how expensive jalapenos are. My sweet peppers, they take a long time, they don't produce as much, but my jalapenos and my sugar rush, which I'm counting like jalapenos because that's the thing they're the most similar to, they just push out to the tune of several $100s. Loofahs, I can grow way more than I would ever buy, but I would buy dish sponges, and apparently I grew about the equivalent of 110 dish sponges. And a dried out loofah doesn't spoil quickly at all. It'll be good for years and years. So $360 worth of dish sponges in my cold storage room right now. Corn, only $20. Tasted really good though. Peanuts, fun to grow, beautiful. The squirrels drive me crazy. They keep digging them up. So I only actually managed to grow about $4 worth, maybe. Cauliflower, one beautiful 2-kilogram head. The other plant didn't take it all. Spaghetti squash, $46. Pumpkin, $18. Pumpkins aren't very expensive, but they're also dead easy to grow. Strawberries, I planted these a couple of years ago now, so this is just 1 year's of harvest. Asparagus, same thing. They're good for up to 20 years in the ground, so one of those years, this is what I harvested. My pear tree actually had a poor year. This is a big drop down from how many we got last year, but still quite a bit. Garlic, I planted a ton of garlic. I wanted a lot of scapes. We actually ran out last year, so we're not going to run out this year. And we got over $100 worth, even though garlic is pretty dirt cheap too. And blueberries, my blueberry plants are still quite babies, so I expect this to increase quite a bit over the next couple of years. I also grew a lot of things that are difficult to find in the store and lots of root vegetables where they don't really have one plant producing a bunch of them. They just grow from the individual seed. So I lump these things together, and my best conservative estimate for all of this is a total of about $535. And when I put my whole garden harvest together and add tax, because I have to pay tax on food where I live, the total comes to just over $2,400. Now, of course, I'm ignoring my startup costs for the garden. They aren't in my calculation at all, and that's going to vary so much between me and between you, depending on where you are and how big of a space, how fancy you want to get. But the point is, when you start producing, you can actually make a big financial impact for yourself and reduce your grocery bill, which is on top of the health benefits and the environmental benefits of growing your own food. So I like seeing it all on paper, and I hope you've maybe enjoyed seeing this too. Maybe take a look at how much you've saved in a year and leave me a comment in the video below. I'd love to see it. So when I calculate the chicken,